this thing? Welcome to the graffiti jungle. Parlo per lingue. Benvenuti nella giungla dei graffiti. Questo è Impastore Rockstar, a podcast musicale. Sono il tuo capo, io sono Chief Gihareh, Julius Caesar K. Brown. Alright. So now we're on to Netflix. Season 3, Episode 6. Light and Dark. Licht und Schatten. Something like that. Maybe. Learning a new language, eh? Eh? Yeah, it's nothing really to even. I'm not gonna. There's not a lot of whatchamacallits to show from this episode. Uh, I was wondering because episode 5 was like really good. Episode 5 was really good, and so I didn't really. Well, or it was just intense. I ain't know how they was gonna be able to really follow it up. So this episode, you know how you kind of get like over, or you just like, yeah, okay, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing really new, nothing really, you know what I'm saying? Da, da, da. It was just another regular episode. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out, do I need to move this up, or do I have one that's like at a better position? Mm-hmm. All right. So, well, I'll just do it like this then. Okay. Let me try to see if I can remember where this show started. Oh, it starts off narrating. I think Martha narrating. Yeah, so yeah, there's not a lot to really talk about in this episode. Basically, it's Adam and Eva, right? And so, which is the old ass version of Jonas and the old ass version of Martha. So there's a couple things there, and now you know they talk about once you show your real intention and things like that. So showing your real intention. Adam real life says like it's one of those he basically is like, I'm tired of doing this. And so I'm ready to just end all of this. He was like, but he literally says total annihilation. Like, so his thing is undoing the whole knot. Because, they keep talking about how everything is connected, this thread that just weaves through time and this and the third and da da da. So he's like, I'm undoing this knot. I'm trying to sever this thing and just end this whole thing. Right? Well, I'm not sure if they've always kind of like alluded to that. Because in the little play that they like be reading or that they be acting out, that Martha acts out, I think that's one of the lines. So, of trying to sever this connection like forever. And his thing is, Adam, he said basically like, yeah, the apocalypse has to happen in both worlds. And this baby that's supposed to come from you, the only way that we can destroy it is with the energy used from both worlds or something like that. And so, yeah, it gets, it's a little whatchamacallit. That's basically like the episode for like, um, it's a couple, how do I say? It's a couple. The fuck am I trying to say, bro? It's a couple little episode. Oh, it's a couple little scenes that like these scenes happened in season 1 and 2, and now they're happening in the other world, in Martha's world. So, for instance, the whole, well, like, I'm trying to see, like, well, actually, what's new? We never did this whole scene, because sometimes they give you a scene that tells you, like, oh, well, now you understand this part. But, like, this was a new scene, but it didn't, like, help explain anything. Alexander, who runs the power plant, he tells Bartosz, like, well, it clears up one thing, that he kind of confirms that he was the murderer in this city or whatever, and so I'm saying, why does he tell Bartosz this? He tells Bartosz because Bartosz walks in on him. He's having some conversation with somebody at the power plant, and uh, about the barrels or something, whatever. Obendorf, actually, he's actually having a conversation with Obendorf, and something about the barrels or whatever. Bartos walks in and is like, "Dad, you okay?" You know what I'm saying? It's like that, boom, boom. And so he ends up telling them, like, what does he say to him? Oh, I don't know how he whatchamacallit, but then he just basically says, like, yeah, um, actually, he was like, name isn't Alexander. My name is Boris Newald. It's like Niewald. Newald. Boris Newald. Something like that. Or Nivald. Whatever. He says his real name is Boris. And he was like, I don't want you like look at me differently, nothing like that. Like, I kind of respected it, like, from a father's standpoint. I kind of like respected that. Like, he was telling him, like, yeah, bro, like, I did this. He shows him a newspaper too. It's like, because it was like, there's this unsolved murder in this city, but he shows him a newspaper, and he was like, it was an accident. I don't want you to think me any type of way. But Bartos was kind of like angry, sad, like, but he's like, yo, does mom know? And he was like, your mom is the best thing that ever happened to me, and which is technically true. Like, Regina, because Regina was like, and Regina's one of those characters, you kind of feel bad for Regina. Like, you just kind of feel bad for Regina, bro. Um, Regina, what did she do? Regina, she didn't really have too many friends in school. Then she does her. You see her character like had a little switch. So she started. She got her little glow up, and then that was at the time when she met. Well, actually, she was getting picked on, and then once she started, and then he came in and like stood up for her, and then they got together. You know what I'm saying? And then her mom ran the power plant, and basically that's how he got to having the job in the power plant. They got their house, like, they don't really like show too much of their house, but their house is fire. Their house is fire, bro. Like, I just know one part of the shit is glass, and then the back wall is like some type of rock or brick. That not brick, it's like some type of rock. Bro, that shit fire. Their house is fire, bro. So then what else? That happens. Mm, they keep going back and forth for like, there's a lot of Marthas. There's a lot of Marthas running around. And so they keep going back and forth with like, well, what if making sure that, well, they also have what they call like, they'll call them like, we're here to fill in the gaps. Like, this is gonna happen and this gonna happen, and these people are gonna try to do this and this person's gonna try to do this. So we're here to fill in those gaps or trying to stop, like, the shit just supposed to happen. So that's why apparently, I think that's why they send the people back and forth. Um, Now, one of the things was Martha on her side. Martha on her side was saying basically, well, so one of the things is like, yeah, they keep doing this, they keep having this whole little cycle. And would you ever really get tired of it? That's something like, that's something to think about, right? Would you ever really get tired of it? Like, and just as an aside note, like let's say like reincarnation, would you be like, yeah, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit. That's basically what Adam's saying. Adam's like, I'm tired of this. I'm not doing this no more. And Eve is like, nah, we still just gotta go ahead and do this. You know what I'm saying? So And like they playing it's checkers, not chess. Like the way they kind of like move people and things is basically like that. They be like, all right, yeah. She was like, he has all his people in position, so now y'all gotta go out. And it's crazy. There's a scene, and Martha, or well, the old Martha is called Eve, Eva. So she like goes. She has each one of them, each one of like the other characters in the show, and she's telling them, all right, you gotta go do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you're here for this, you gotta like she tells them all like their roles, like what they're supposed to do. So it's, but you don't see something like that happen in Jonas's world, but that's basically what Adam, or what I'm saying, basically kind of, but you kind of can tell, like, because that's what people come and do, like all the people are just listening to Adam, and what I'm saying, boom. But now you're seeing Martha's side, Eva, you're seeing that side where she's telling each person like, okay, you gotta go ahead, you gotta do this, you gotta go ahead and you gotta do this, like, and doing that. So there's that scene. Other than that, it wasn't really nothing else that really like. I'm trying to figure. There was nothing else that really like stuck out. Still don't know where that one guy comes from. He said he has no name, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like their son or whatever. Cause there was like this one little confusing part. She was like, he's still alive. Why or how is he still alive? And so, I guess I probably should watch him call it. She was like, she was trying to explain to him like with the infinity loop. I'm trying to see if I don't got a picture of the infinity sign. But she tries to explain, does this show up with the little infinity loop? And I'm gonna get my arms out. So she was like, she drew the infinity sign, and she was like, at that moment right here, yes, this happened, but at the same time, that other one also happened. So there's one in which you save them, and there's one in which you don't save them. And she was like, both of those alternate realities, it triggers both of them. So whenever this happens, boom, both of those happen. So she tried to explain it to her with the infinity shit. She was like, boom, at this moment, both junctures happen. So there's one where you save him, and there's one you do the third. And so that's why he still lives. Because she didn't understand like how the hell he still lived. So that was kind of confusing, but it kind of made sense the way whatchamacallit, and that was just like something interesting. Now she was explaining to her about the whole, the concept of just a line or whatever. And what's weird and it was not weird is the fact that like with the line, she was like, yeah, here's one side of the line, but here's the other side of the line. Like a line has two sides. So she was like, there's still two like realities and whatever. This shit was just, it's cool to just sit there and think about, just conceptually, philosophically. Now, the word quantum, they first said this quantum something. Well, I'm not sure what the other word was. It was a quantum something. So that did pop. I forget what the word was though. I don't know. Damn, I should know that. I forget what it was. Because it wasn't one of the normal ones that you hear about, but it was a quantum and then another word. So she said that, right? Yeah, there was really nothing else. Like I said, like it's a lot of repeating scenes, but for the other person or whatever. Like, so Ulrich follows Helg. Ulrich has that interaction with Helg, um, and Hell was like, I gotta stop him. He was like, stop who? You. And so Hell goes into the caves to go time travel, and Ulrich follows him. And so like, there's that whole thing happens. And so yeah, bro, like that's what it was. That's what it is. That's what it was. There's not a lot like that really happens, but I will show like this little last part. This little last part was what was like newer, a little bit different, because like. Oh, does anything happen with Charlotte and Elizabeth? Like they've shown. I didn't take that one. Oh, what's this? Oh, no. Let's move it. Okay. So they're shown, you know how like, oh, well, I do have this one. Is it this one? No, that shit was funny as well. Where is it? Um, what scene is that, bro? Here. So, this is not the actual scene. I'm trying to think. There is a scene though where Hannah confronts Charlotte about, her and Ulrich having an affair, and she looks at Charlotte and says, uh, she looks at Charlotte and says that Ulrich belongs to her or whatever. And when Ulrich comes down, she kisses him twice, and she was like, "Oh yeah, make sure to bring your husband by next time, and we can just have that boom boom." Oh, now actually, one thing that does happen though, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure who was supposed to be born though. So where is she? Okay. Ah, shit. No, this not. Okay, her in the other world, in Martha's world, she's pregnant. Is this not? No, this is just in another time. She's the crazy thing. She's pregnant here in this one too. Um, but in Martha's world, she's pregnant, and at the end of the episode, she's sitting there, whatever, and she's like bleeding. So I think she had a miscarriage. Cause usually like when they're bleeding or something like that, it's like, oh, water broke, but it wasn't water broke. It was blood. I think she had a miscarriage. So I'm not sure. You know how things are supposed to happen inside there. Boom, boom. So that does happen. I'm not. They don't. They show Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte is with. I'm trying to figure if I have Ulrich up here. Or do I have Charlotte? Do I have Ulrich or Charlotte? No, I don't got Ulrich or Charlotte up here. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't have Ulrich or Charlotte up here. But anyway, Charlotte. Uh, Alexander, who owns the power plant, who runs the power plant, he calls Charlotte and is like, "Yeah, I need you to see something. This is what starts the apocalypse." And so at first, it was weird. I don't even know why she even whatchamacallit. I don't even know why she stopped. Um, but the other Martha, she goes back and she's on her way with Bartosz to stop Bartosz's dad from opening the barrels. But Francesca and Magnus come in. Francesca and Magnus come in, and there's like, yeah, we're whatchamacallit, and boom, boom, boom. She goes with them. Now, mind you, it's like at this point, why do you listen to them knowing that all the older versions of whatchamacallit, they're just ensuring that the same things always happen. Um, so, but they was like, they're gonna come save him or whatever. So Magnus and Francesca come and get the other Martha. They leave Bartosz there. Bartosz was on the way to stop his dad from whatchamacallit. Doesn't do that. Then um, they don't really show so much of Elizabeth or Katerina. I'm trying to think, does Katerina may have like there's not too much. I don't think they really show Katerina too much in this one. Now I can say a little bit of something like this, and it's like I kind of get it though. So I, I'll say that. I'll save that point. But let me just try to think of any other character that they might have mentioned or shown. And I don't think so. Oh. Adam. This is like the but this wasn't like a. I tried to get a couple. It wasn't like a heart wrenching, gut wrenching part for me or nothing like that. It was, I guess it's supposed to be though, because like Adam looks at her and she's like, "I did what you told me this and that." And then he had her locked up in like this little cage shit, and then they come out, and then it's this. So the God particle is like above her, and then when the apocalypse happens, he was like, "Yeah, like I need the energy in of both apocalypses and whatchamacallit to happen to basically destroy the baby that's inside of her. But like the energy from both of those has to like destroy it." And so it wasn't that like I wasn't that pressed about this scene. This is what's happening at the end. Um, and then it was this. Now, the whatchamacallit about them, Francesca, this is Francesca and Magnus, and she was like, "Yo, if it ends, we end. We gonna it ends. We end together, right?" She says that she's like, "Yeah, if it ends, we're gonna go. We're gonna go out together, right?" And then this is when it happens. So, bro, like, imagine that, bro. Like, bro, imagine that shit, and that shit happens right in front of your face. Like, who would you want to be with? What would you want to be doing? Oh my gosh. You know, they were laughing, dancing, praising, and singing. And then it happened, right? So, uh, so the only other little thing I was about to say was the fact that I'm trying. I don't want to like this is actual. The only other thing I was about to say was the fact that it's a yes in the sense that you've seen this scene before, so you know what's happening or know why it's happening or whatever, and that it's happening now in the other world. And it's like uh, the, the first time was like the acting was a bit better, but this second time when they're like redoing some of these scenes, I'm not gonna say they feel. Yeah, let's just say that some of them feel like a little rushed or forced, but I get it because me as a viewer, I'm not. I'm already sitting here saying like, oh, okay, I understand why this scene is happening or whatever. But the these second scenes, which are the reenactments, or yeah, basically like reenactments of those other scenes, but in this other world, they're just yeah, they just it's nothing wrong with the script or nothing like that. It's just it's kind of rushed, kind of forced, just a little bit. But I understand it. Like they don't need to be drawn out or anything, because it's like again, as a viewer, you've already seen whatchamacallit, so you kind of and I don't know what the word is for this feeling, but you be ready for this scene to like be over with because you like, all right, I already know why this scene is happening or whatever. But you're just seeing it again, so like that's a that's the thing. So this one, I'm not gonna say it definitely had to happen. It was this is the apocalypse, but in the other world. So yeah. Now, let me see. I'm not sure how many more episodes there are. I'm trying to see if I watch one more. Um, yeah, that might take me to which one call it, but we'll see. That was season 3.